welcome to Lety Does Inhumans vs. X-Men, Issue 1. When we last ended Issue 0, we saw that the truce between the mutant and Inhumans has begun to strain. Beast has yet to find a solution to the Terrigen Mist, which has now even contaminated the Savage Land, showing that the mutagen has spread across the entire globe. All the while, Emma Frost has been reaching out for assistance from all corners of the X-Men community, putting the final touches on her plan to get revenge against the Inhumans. Our story begins on Mur Island, where we see Beast standing over Cyclops' tombstone. He speaks at Scott's grave, confessing that he's unsure whether gathering the mutant leaders together was a mistake. Hank says he's afraid that this can only lead to war, and that if Scott were still alive, he'd agree that enough people have died. Beast finds everyone gathered inside the research facility and breaks the news to them. Hank tells everyone that despite the last 8 months that he has spent working with the Inhumans on New Attilan, he has yet to find a way to combat the Terrigen's toxicity to mutants, and that despite trying his very hardest, he has failed, and the mutants are out of time. We cut to the Quiet Room, Black Bolt's club in New York City. The Inhuman Royal and Flagman are listening to a woman sing on stage, the latter commenting that he's glad everything's going so well, considering he signed the singer on despite an obvious lack of prior experience. The conversation is cut short by a waiter, who tells them that a woman is requesting to see Black Bolt. Flagman tells his friend not to worry about it, but the king has already marched off in search of the patron. Beast summarizes Storm and Magneto's role in saving countless mutant lives over the past several months, and explains that it was all a waste, as there's simply no cure for Mpox. Emma speaks up, demanding to know why they haven't finished Cyclops' mission and destroyed the second cloud. Storm reminds Emma that they made a truce with the Inhumans to not take action against the cloud, and that they've been taking measures to protect mutants by relocating them to X-Haven. As an argument begins to ensue, Beast tells everyone that fighting amongst themselves is useless and that they need to work together. He reluctantly shares his most recent discovery, explaining that the chemical bonds holding the cloud together will soon break down, saturating the entire atmosphere with Terrigen. When that happens, it's the end of us. The Earth will become completely uninhabitable for mutants. In New Attilan, we see Medusa greet 3 young children about to undergo Terrigenesis. They're nervous about the changes that are about to happen to their bodies, and so the Queen decides to tell them the story of when she went through the mist herself as a child. She is cut short by Johnny Storm, who is standing out on the castle balcony. The Human Torch looks into the distance and warns her that something is coming. On Mur Island, the X-Men have begun to panic and fight as they realize they only have 2 weeks left before the end of mutant kind. Half are worried about the implications of this knowledge, the other half angry at Hank for not telling them sooner. Amidst the arguing, Magneto slams the table and shouts, "My people will not be gassed to death. You always have a solution, McCoy. Get on with it and tell us what we need to do." Beast reiterates that there is no possible solution to the Terrigen problem. There just isn't a cure for Mpox. Either the mutants can decide to relocate off Earth, or they can stay and die. Eric somberly states that he has forgotten another option, that they can fight their extinction. We pan over to Chechnya, where Gorgon is trying to locate a mutant that Cerebro has detected, rushing to move them out of the mist's way. He rummages his way through the discreet apartment before coming across a frail old man. Carrying the mutant in need, Gorgon tells the all-new Inhumans to bring the ship around. Magneto tries to sway Beast into fighting the Inhumans, reminding him that they have beaten them before. Emma and Old Man Logan both support this idea as well, arguing that this is the only logical way, given the alternative would be to face certain death. Beast exasperately tells everyone that they barely survived the previous fight because the Inhumans were taken by surprise, and that they have spent the past several months preparing for war. Emma calmly confesses that so have they, and looks to Magneto. Should I tell him now? Tell me what? Emma tells the gathered group that while they have been busy rescuing mutants for the past 8 months, she has been hard at work at making a plan to take out the Inhumans, and that everyone would have a role to play if it is to work. She says that the plan begins with Karnak. We pan over to see Karnak meditating in the Tower of Wisdom. Emma tells everyone that due to his inhuman ability to sense flaws and potential points of failure, he'd be the first to know that the Inhuman Mutant Treaty is about to fail. If he isn't taken off the board first, the Inhumans would surely see the mutants coming. Karnak is interrupted by a disciple and told that a young mutant is here to see him. The royal tells him to send her up. As Emma continues to detail how they'll take out the rest of the Inhuman royal family, young Beast suddenly gets concerned and asks if anyone was going to die. Magneto explains that no one would die if their plan was executed perfectly, but they need to prepare for anything. Hank grows impatient and pleads for Storm to see reason, crying that they can't seriously be considering this plan. As another argument is about to begin, Logan tells the X-Men that they have forgotten about Lockjaw, the Royals' teleporting dog, and that they need to get rid of him first before they continue with their plan. We see Kamala Khan walking Lockjaw through New Jersey, distracted by a phone call she's on. When Miss Marvel turns around, she finds that her dog is gone and moves on, assuming he had somewhere better to be. On Mur Island, Hank continues to protest against the attack, saying they don't understand how ruthless the Inhumans can be, when Emma screams that she watched Black Bolt kill Scott, so she knows exactly what they're up against. Storm feels that the conversation has gotten too emotional and proposes a vote. Either they collectively decide to destroy the Cloud, or they collectively decide to leave. When everyone votes against Hank to destroy the Cloud, Magneto tells Beast that he could be a great asset to the team, since he has exclusive access to Attilan as one of their scientists. Beast refuses, believing that what they're doing is no worse than letting the Terrigen kill them all, and begins to leave when he is shot with a bolt of lightning. Storm tells him that she is very sorry, but that Emma's plan is hers as well, and they cannot afford any slip-ups. She tells the rest of the mutants to prepare, as they are going to war. We cut back to the quiet room to see Black Bolt searching for whoever requested him. He is surprised to see it's Emma Frost who is waiting for him. A moment later, the singer from the lounge comes in and greets Emma. Blackgar is confused by the fact that the two women know each other. The White Queen transforms into her diamond form and tells him the truce is over. The singer points a gun at Black Bolt, and he speaks, the sonic projection knocking her down. The woman slowly gets back up, and Black Bolt grits his teeth in rage as he realizes what he's gotten himself into. But he doesn't realize it quickly enough, as Emma punches him in the throat, rendering him incapable of speaking. She tells the singer, now revealed to be mutant artist Dazzler, to take him down. Allison redirects her collected sonic energy and sends the shockwave flying back at the king, knocking him unconscious. We return to the Tower of Wisdom to see that the mutant who requested to see Karnak is none other than Marvel Girl. Karnak expresses that he was expecting the mutants to send a warrior to take him out, and that Jean Grey is just a child who is way out of her depths. Suddenly, he pauses, saying that he has the strangest sense of deja vu. Jean tells the royal that's because she arrived hours ago, and that they've been endlessly running through a mental loop. Karnak tells her that he will eventually get out of her mental trap, but she says by the time he does, it will be too late. Back in Chechnya, we see Crystal and her team trying to talk to the old man Gorgon had rescued, when he reveals himself to be none other than Magneto. The Master of Magnetism thanks them for the rescue, and for bringing him through the outer defenses of their ship, and then promptly tears it apart. we take a quick peek at Jersey City, where we find Lockjaw asleep in an alley, content with the steak in his mouth. It is revealed that Phantom X baited the human pet away from Miss Marvel and drugged him into a deep sleep. Back in New Attilan, Medusa and Johnny Storm look out into the distance from the castle balcony. These fools. What do we do now? As far as we know, the truth still holds. If they are here to talk, we talk. And if they're not, then Johnny, we fight. And that was the end of Inhumans vs. X-Men #1. And we can see that shit has officially hit the fan. In the next issue, we'll see just how severe the battle escalates to, and how much damage will be done to both sides. It's easy to forget that while the Inhumans have a floating fortress, the X-Men are basically a trained military school. Personally, I'd like to see if Miss Marvel gets involved in all this bullshittery, and whether or not the Inhumans realize that they are fucking wrong. But yeah, that's all for now, and thank you for liking and subscribing. I will see you next time. Bye! Oh, hey there! Thank you so much for watching this video. If you like what you saw, you could subscribe to my channel by clicking that circle button up there. Or you can check out some more of my videos over here. I also have a Patreon set up that you can find by clicking that square button right there. See you later. What was I doing? Emma!